So growing up, I was raised in church, and I had great friends, great mentors, and a great understanding of the Bible and of my religion. But I really didn't know what it meant to follow Jesus. It wasn't until my third grade year, when we left the church that I'd grown up in, that I really realized how little faith I had. Late in my fourth grade year, when we arrived at the harbor, and at that point I was still selfish, I was bitter, I didn't listen to anybody or anything. A large group leader, I can't remember anything they said. My small group leaders pretty much just got on to me the whole time, said, hey, pay attention, which I still didn't do. It wasn't until sixth grade year that I really understood what it meant to follow Jesus. I get up there and there's all the games, and I immediately go do stuff and hang out with people, and then once again, I'm not thinking about Jesus. And then we had a great worship service, and I'll just look around and everybody's putting their hands up, praising God and stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is different, but it's a good different. I could feel something like, okay, this is good. So then Tim preached, and when he started talking about having a relationship with God, I'm like, what the heck is a relationship? Like, all I knew was religion. Like, hey, I'm a Christian, that means I got to do this, this, and this. And now I finally had that relationship, and it really just changed me for the better so much. And then there was this Bible verse that stuck with me, Matthew 16, 24 through 25. Or if any of you wants to be my followers, you must turn from your selfish ways, take up your cross and follow me. If you try to save your life, you will lose it. But if you give your life up for my sake, you will save it. And I'm like, man, that is me on so many levels. For if any of you wants to be my followers, that would be me. You must turn from your selfish ways, which had been me for the last 3 years, just selfish, bitter, not listening to anybody. Then you must take up your cross. It's like, all right, I take on the gospel, I accept Jesus, and now I'm gonna follow Jesus. This means that in this life I may suffer, but when I go to heaven, everything will be perfect because I'll be in heaven. Later in my sixth grade year, I volunteered for Bless. I get there and immediately I see the way the leaders are pouring into these kids, and I felt something, and it just rubbed off on me. And so I started caring for these kids deeply and like trying to pour into them. And that's really what motivated me to do my Bible study. It was like, hey, I've got these kids that are relying on me to teach them and answer spiritual questions they have, and I really need to be equipped to do that. And there's this kind of analogy that they've used in Blast forever. It's like, you can't pour into other buckets if your bucket isn't full. And so that really just motivated me to keep going to sermons and just keep my Bible study going and just keep having a full bucket so that I can pour into these kids. Now, what the Lord has been doing for me is that I need to build up relationships with people and just share the gospel with them no matter what, and just have a legitimate love for these people.